This is my 13.4 presentation. The first scenario we're going to look at is for John, who's age of 13 and who loves wakeboarding, and how Sportivate could help John. John is only 13, which means that he and others around him need to have a positive attitude towards sports and activities. And even though he really liked when he tried it out, he might not wish to take part in it or carry it on if people around him don't have a positive attitude, because they're at a critical age at which they can be influenced very easily. He also comes from a low socioeconomic background, which is a cultural barrier for him. And because he has a relatively low socioeconomic background, it means that they can't afford to send him off to take part in clubs and sporting activities without some funding. And this is where Sportivate comes in, as they can help to fund his travel to get to the place where his wakeboarding activity is, and they can also give him subsidised or free lessons, as well as doing a 8 to 10 week course on it. Boys and girls might often feel self-conscious, especially if they're in a wetsuit. Sportive do single-sex sessions to get more people involved, and this also means that there are more spaces if they're running multiple sessions, which then will include more people. Sportive is an initiative set up to help 14 to 25-year-olds, but recently includes 11 to 13-year-olds. And they do this by putting on a large range of sports and activities and making them free of subsidised, so that more people can take part and do them, even if they have a low socioeconomic background, such as John. It's also part of the 2012 Olympic legacy, and can also help to start a sporting habit for these children, so they can carry on and hopefully excel in them. And they do this by putting on different activities, some that they might not even have tried before or even knew that they existed, and also it links them with the youth identity. They can also help John because there's a skate park in Hastings, which is where he lives, and this means that there are transferable skills in skateboarding and wakeboarding, so it can help him to improve his skills without actually having to spend a lot of money to do these sessions. They also can get an ambassador or a water sports expert, to come in and do a talk in the school, which will give people an insight into what wakeboarding is and other water sports, to give them to help keep their positive attitude and help to try them out. As well as free and subsidised sessions, they also try and organise it so people who can't afford to get there or live far away from where it's held they provide travel of some sort, whether it be free buses, trains, or a minibus to pick people up taking part in the session. Wakeboarding is also an individual sport, so for children like John, who doesn't like team sports, this can be very beneficial for them, as they don't have to necessarily work with other people. A big thing of how they can advertise it is putting posters up, or maybe having events days to show people what they can offer, which will then draw more people in and want to try it out. And there's an example is Hove Lagoon, which is where over 10 sportive projects have been held, and they continue to run subsidised lessons even after their 8 to 10 week course. The potential benefit of Sportivate is that they're making friends, which is a social aspect and can also then help them develop social skills. Another one is to increase their confidence, which will mean that they'll excel in different parts as well as just doing sports. They will excel at school and doing academic things as well. The youth insight must be part of the application, so all the sessions are planned fully and are high quality, which means everyone gets the most out of it. And they also don't have to be competitive, which means that it can draw more people in, because some people don't like the competitive side of sports and activities, which is why they don't do them. However, the limitations, it's only an 8 to 10 week course, so it's not long enough for someone to actually get a full example of what it actually is like to do. And there are only certain number of places available on each course. So if they're full up, then a child or like a few children might be missing out because they can't do this. And there's limited funding, so this could go towards. So if they got more funding, then it could go towards having longer courses or even having more places or more sessions. And it's only aimed at this target audience, 14 to 25-year-olds, and now recently the 11 to 13-year-olds. The next scenario is for Louise, who's a talented footballer, and we're going to talk about how Project 500 could help Louise. Her barriers. Her male teacher, especially, isn't very supportive of her, which means that this could knock her confidence and mean that she might not want to continue about it. And the staff and other students even need to be educated to show that girls' knowledge is just as good as boys' knowledge, and the ambassadors could come in and do this for a free training course. And they also need money to subsidise the coaching courses, because if she has a low economic background, which she might do, she might not be able to afford these coaching courses, which means she can't get better in her coaching role. Project 500 is here to is a campaign to address the imbalance between male and female coaches. They encourage any age female coach and offer support. This means that whether you're retired or a student starting out, they will help you. So it basically gives anyone a chance to become a coach and to be able to do something, whether it's in their spare time or as maybe to make a career out of it, because they offer a level 1 award to everyone. It also gives subsidised workshops and access to coaching courses, which will then give them the level 1 award. And they are a national project as well. The benefits. They have already got 3 national awards, and there's also been 560 new coaches, mostly female. It's there to, the benefits of it, there is more equality between males and females, especially in the coaching, and can also give young children, especially females, a role model to look up to and see that they can do this as well. And this is a connection then to This Girl Can, which is another campaign to help get more women involved in sport. And also the empowerment of females in a male-dominated environment. So for sports like football and rugby, you wouldn't really expect to see a female on the pitch being an umpire or a referee even. But now with this, we can help get more referees or linesmen that are women onto there, which will then change the stereotype. Limitations, however, if the females do not get enough support from their parents or their teachers, then it could put them off altogether and they might not want to do this. And there is still places where there is an imbalance towards men, which means that even if women are as good, they won't get given the same opportunities. And certain sports are considered male dominant, so like football and rugby, they don't like females taking part in it. The last scenario is about Sarah, who has a mobility impairment, and we're going to see how the school sports games can help her. A couple of barriers she has, that some people might not understand her mobility impairment, which is a big part of this, because if they don't understand, then they can't learn to take part in like the sports she can play in, like Boca, which is a wheelchair activity. And also the equipment, like the specialised wheelchairs for the sport, can be expensive, and can also, even though her mobility impairment might not stop her from doing and taking part in these games and taking part in sport, because the uh, school doesn't have the facilities to do it, then she might not be able to, which is no fault of her own, but it's a barrier that she's facing because they don't have the right funding and money to be able to provide all this equipment and facilities for her to be able to take part. And the school games can offer wheelchair activities such as Booker, which can then get everyone involved from around all the different schools, even if it's a non-competitive thing, just to get them to join in and have a go. And they can also get the athletics club to do some sessions in school to get everyone involved together, because athletics is something that both someone that has a mobility impairment and someone that doesn't can get involved in together. The school sport games then are there to increase the quality of school sports competition, and as they hold a series of events in a school or in a place near a school where loads of schools come together and compete. And there are four levels. So you've got intrasport, which is to increase mass participation at primary school level. Interschools, which is normally at secondary level. County, which is the Sussex school games, and there are 1,000 from all schools and is held at the K2 Centre in Crawley. And then you've got the National School Games, which is at elite level, and only a few are chosen from there. And that's at the very top, and it's potential benefits of the school sport games is that they offer a variety of non-traditional and traditional activities, so there's something for everyone there, and especially younger like the intra-school level, because it means that it gives them a wide variety of what is available, and some people might excel at it, some might not. And there are also volunteering opportunities at the school games, so people that want to have a look at a bit of a coaching or just help out, they can go and do that with which will then increase their skills. And also it's very inclusive at lower levels. Apart from when you get to like the national levels, only the very best can enter, which is a limitation because it's only competitive, and it's very hard to enter into that stage if you are not at if you're just a beginner. And we need to take into account the health and well-being of a person, because it's very well just telling them to go and compete, but if it's not doing anything to help them, then it could be potentially a bad thing. Thank you for listening.